Hey, what's up? Welcome in. This video is inspired by one of the worst training injuries that I've ever gone through. Years ago, while bench pressing, I suffered a bad rotator cuff injury. Now, bench pressing was just what I happened to be doing when the injury occurred. It was more about my ego and lack of good judgment that opened the door for the injury. Anyways, I was in pain for almost a year. In that time, I had to figure out how to heal my body. Just resting and traditional rehab methods, they worked to some extent, but they only got me so far. Even after I was feeling better, I still didn't trust my shoulder, and I knew it was going to be an ongoing process. Around then, I began looking outside the box and focusing more on movement. I got the best results from natural movements because I was able to consistently work on my weak links in a simple and intuitive way. These 5 natural movements were key for making my shoulders stronger and healthier than ever. So check them out, give them a try. All right, let's dig in. All right, our first movement is the foot hand crawl. This is your basic crawling pattern useful for navigating tight spaces. Now, obviously, we spend most of our time on our feet, but crawling comes up in natural settings, and it's a great movement to train not just your shoulders, but your total body. Set up a strong base position by keeping your arms locked out and actively pushing through the ground when on support. From there, explore some of these static variations. Lift and lower your hips, shift your body weight around your points of support, stabilize yourself on one arm and reach through a full range of motion with your free arm. Then start opening things up by crawling around your space. This is a contralateral pattern that means your opposite hand and foot will step together, and also focus on keeping your hips and head at the same level. From there, start to branch out and play. Move backwards, laterally, and in circles to expose your shoulders to a greater variety of angles. You can also increase the challenge by crawling over uneven terrain. Movement number 2 is the inverted crawl, also known as the crab crawl. This one is useful for traversing down steep slopes or just for play. We got the same general idea here as the foot hand crawl. While on support, keep your arms locked out and actively pushing through the ground. Your opposite hand and foot will move together on every step. This crawl can be a great way to combat desk posture. Just make sure to keep your shoulders externally rotated and your shoulder blades depressed. Think chest open and neck long. Again, you could see some of the static drills that have a lot of value, lifting and lowering your hips, shifting your body weight, and reaching at different angles. In locomotion, start by crawling forwards, extending your leg and pulling from the heel as you actively push into the ground with your opposite arm. Add changes of direction and rotation. Try this crawl on a hill or on a set of stairs. For movement number 3, we've got the overhead carry. This is a simple but extremely practical movement, especially in terms of physical labor. Think gardening or landscaping. It's pretty simple. Stabilize a weight held over your head, either with one arm or both arms. I will say that the one arm overhead carry is likely a better choice if your shoulder mobility is a weak point for you. In either case, the important part here is what's happening below the weight. Your alignment is everything. Make sure your pelvis and rib cage are level. Create a connection between your bottom ribs and your hip points. Brace your core to maintain this connection. Keeping this alignment is important for both your safety and for developing your shoulder mobility and stability. Begin by working the transition from kneeling to standing, then start walking around. Move forwards and backwards, then branch out into all planes. Start off on flat ground for 20 to 30 second carries. As you progress, you can try walking over more varied terrain and increasing the time under tension. Movement number 4 is rowing. This is the common name for horizontal pulling, either pulling your body weight or pulling a weighted object closer to your body. In real life, a row happens in many practical situations. Anytime you open a door or help someone off the ground, that's a row. And because rowing targets the back and the posterior shoulders, this is another great movement to fix that desk posture. You can train rowing with a variety of different tools. A suspension trainer like the gymnastics rings, a resistance band, or any weighted object. The first step is organizing your shoulders, plugging your arms into their socket to create strength and stability around the shoulder girdle. Keep your shoulders drawn down and away from your ears. Avoid shrugging. Now from that stable shoulder position, brace your core and begin to pull, driving your elbows back. Keep your shoulders externally rotated and chest open as you pull. This will give you better activation in your lats. Avoid rounding your shoulders forward. Also avoid excessively arching your spine. As you release the row, you might maintain your shoulder connection or allow that connection to relax and stretch. Be mindful in your movements, paying attention to the smooth coordination of the shoulder and the arm with each repetition. The last movements we'll look at today are hanging and swinging. These are very common for us as kids, but as we get older, we don't take as many opportunities to hang. Exercises like pull-ups receive a lot of attention. However, hanging and swinging also do a lot to build healthier shoulders, and they actually pave the way for performing stronger, pain-free pull-ups. To reap the full benefits of hanging and swinging, you'll need to hang more often. So you have to create opportunities to hang a little bit every day. You can use a pull-up bar at home, playground equipment, and always be on the lookout for good climbing trees. I'm demonstrating on the rings, which are a great tool because of their versatility. Now, keep in mind that time under tension will help you progress. If you can only perform a full body weight hang for a short time, that's great, but increase your time under tension by lowering the intensity. This means keeping your feet in contact with the ground to alleviate some of the demands. While hanging, organize your shoulders the same way you did with your rows. Keep your grip strong and your shoulders drawn down away from your ears. Keep your pelvis tucked and drop your bottom ribs, just like we talked about in the overhead carry. Practice hanging from one arm, swinging side to side or forwards and backwards. As you feel stronger, try hanging with bent arms or add in a few pull-ups while keeping your body position locked in. Remember, hanging is tough, but it can be fun too. If you're just getting started, cut yourself some slack and keep it playful. And on that last note of keeping it playful, practicing these movements doesn't need to be a grind. Here's a look at how I would bring them all together into a combination to keep the work fun. Yes, in order to get the full benefits of these movements, they need to be performed with focus and mindfulness. But the bigger message here is that your workout can be a form of play and still give you amazing results. Now, when I say play, it means bringing more curiosity and variety to your training. There's a reason this isn't called 5 natural exercises for stronger, healthier shoulders. These are natural movement patterns that can be expressed in so many different ways. Play just means keeping some space to explore the movements so they can be the best possible fit for your body and your environment. So I hope this video gives you some insights on how to use natural movements to improve your shoulder health, and also how to step outside the box of just exercising and bring more play and exploration into the mix. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really goes a long way in helping me share this powerful approach with more people. If you're a fan of natural movement, I'd love to connect with you. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And for my exclusive movement programs and follow-along videos, check out my training app on Playbook. All of those links are listed down below in the description. All right, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Now get out there and get some movement goodness in your life, and I'll see you in the next video.